Henry Cavill's rise to fame can be traced back to a historical drama series that aired a full 12 years before he took on the iconic role of Geralt of Rivia in Netflix's adaptation of The Witcher. While many fans recognize him as Superman from Zack Snyder's DC films, or even recall his memorable appearance as a mustachioed antagonist in Mission Impossible Fallout, there's a significant chapter in his career that often goes unnoticed. This chapter is his portrayal of Charles Brandon, the first Duke of Suffolk, in the Showtime series The Tudors, which ran from 2007 to 2010. For those unfamiliar with the series, The Tudors delves into the tumultuous reign of King Henry VIII, played by Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, who is one of England's most infamous monarchs. Personally, I find Henry to be a rather loathsome character. He was a spoiled, overweight man with a fiery temper and a penchant for vengeance. His ascension to the throne was unexpected, as he was thrust into kingship following the death of his elder brother Arthur Tudor, who had been married to Catherine of Aragon, a Spanish princess. This left Henry to marry her, setting off a chain of events that would lead to his 6 marriages, each with its own dramatic fate, a fact famously summarized in the rhyme: divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. While this catchy phrase simplifies the tragic stories of his wives, it does highlight the brutal reality they faced, including Catherine, Anne Boleyn, Jane Seymour, Anne of Cleves, Catherine Howard, and Catherine Parr, who were portrayed by a talented cast in the series. Now, you might be wondering how Charles Brandon fits into this historical narrative. He is not just a minor character. He is depicted as Henry's closest friend, a bond that is tested when he falls in love with and marries Henry's sister, Princess Margaret Tudor, played by Gabrielle Anwar. This marriage infuriates Henry, leading him to banish both Charles and Margaret from the royal court. However, the king eventually reconciles with them. Yet, like many men of his time, Charles struggles with fidelity, which strains his marriage to Margaret. Tragically, she succumbs to tuberculosis in the first season, and Charles is left to grapple with his infidelities as he mourns her passing. Throughout the series, he remains a loyal ally to Henry, even remarrying Catherine Willoughby, portrayed by Rebecca Wainwright and later by Marcella Plunkett. However, his inability to remain faithful continues to haunt him, and he ultimately dies in the 4th season, leaving both Catherine and his French mistress, Brigitte Rousselot, to grieve his loss. It's important to note that while The Tudors is based on historical events, it takes considerable liberties with the facts. For instance, Charles Brandon did not actually marry Margaret Tudor. He was wed to Mary Tudor, Henry's other sister. This blending of characters is just one of many historical inaccuracies present in the series, but it does not detract from Cavill's compelling performance. After The Tudors wrapped up in 2010, Henry Cavill's career took off, primarily in film rather than television, as he didn't return to the small screen for nearly a decade. He starred in the fantasy film Immortals in 2011 and the action thriller The Cold Light of Day the following year. However, his most significant breakthrough came in 2013 when he was cast as Superman in Man of Steel, a role he reprised in several subsequent films, including Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, and Justice League. Although he was later replaced by David Corenswet in the upcoming reboot of Superman, Cavill has remained a supportive figure, offering advice to his successor. In addition to his superhero exploits, Cavill has appeared in various films, including Mission Impossible Fallout, The Man from U.N.C.L.E., and the Netflix franchise Enola Holmes, where he plays the legendary detective Sherlock Holmes, albeit in a supporting role to the film's protagonist, Enola, played by Millie Bobby Brown. He has reprised this role in the sequel, Enola Holmes 2, indicating that his portrayal of this iconic character is far from over. If you're interested in revisiting Henry Cavill's early work as Charles Brandon, you can find The Tudors streaming on Paramount Plus with Showtime. It's a fascinating look at a pivotal time in history, albeit with a dramatic twist that makes it all the more engaging.